Okay, I think we're getting ready to start here. Oh, we lost them. We had Alice and we had Sue here up there a second ago. They're gonna get back on. They'll get back on. We're gonna get going. And Dorothy and Des, I believe, are joining as well. So they're gonna get here as well. And we have Willa Hopkinson online. Hey. All right, I think we need to pray. So I'm gonna start with, unless somebody else feels moved to start with a prayer. Okay, I'll start. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to meet here today. Thank you for this amazing church and for all the people who are in this space and who are watching from home. Thank you for the food that we got to eat today and for the community that we have here together. Please be with us as we make decisions for the coming year and celebrate all that was last year. In your name, amen. I'm going to start with the territorial acknowledgement, and I'm going to use the one that's in these lovely little welcome cards in your pews if you haven't seen those before. Thank you to the worship committee and to Nicole, who've done a bunch of work on them. So I'm just going to read the one that's here. Oh, good. Dorothy and Des are there now. Okay. Oops. Sorry. So we live and worship in the traditional places of the Chinneton, Wyandot, Mississauga, and Haudenosaunee First Nations. These are treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, which we share through the Between the Lakes Treaty. These lands are also part of the Crown Grant to the Six Nations, the Haldeman Grant, which stretches along the Grand River. We're grateful for their stewardship of these places, and we humbly seek to live together in pursuit of justice and right relations. And as the calls to action speak to all of us, and for us as church people, really speak to that reconciliation piece. And I encourage all of us to take a look at the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action and really contemplate how we as individuals and as a community and as a church community can work towards right relations with Indigenous people in Canada. Okay, I'm going to start our meeting. So first I want to thank Marion Laree over here. Thank you very much. Marion has been joining our official board meetings for the last couple of years as we've been without a minister as our supervisor, and just a wealth of information and knowledge and support through kind of a challenging couple of years. And we're just really grateful. And today might be, we're not sure, but might be the last time she sits with us. So I just want to thank you very much for just everything that you've given to us over the past couple of years, and for being here today as well. So thank you. So I'm up here acting as a chair, but you have to actually nominate a chair. And we've got Judy hiding over there acting as the secretary, but you also need to nominate a secretary. So I'm willing to be nominated, and so is Judy. Are there any? Oh. That was very quick. Was there any other nominations? Would anybody else like to be sitting up here? Mike is here. Was that your hand up? No. Okay, so we would need a motion that Amy Weaver serve as chairperson and Judy McMullen serve as secretary for Hope Springs United Church 2025 annual congregational meeting. John Wilkie moves, second by Kurt Hammond. I'm going to delay myself because my 50-something brain just, it'll be processing. So if I forget your last name, I do love you. I just may not remember it. Any further conversation? All in favor? Carried.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Thank you. See, she's full of wisdom. Any opposed? Looking online. Any abstaining? Nobody online there either. And carried. Dorothy, I just want to make sure you can hear us and you can, yes, and I can see you. That's wonderful. And I know Will is there. So when it comes time to vote, Willa, I'm not sure if you can go on camera to show, but you can also put it in the chat. And Dorothy and Des, if you can just either show me both your hands or you can put it in the chat also when it's time to vote. Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, before we approve the agenda, are there any additions to the agenda? I have one item. I think I have one item. No, I don't. I do. Chris has it. Yes, under the leadership 2025, there's A, B, C. There's also D, the regional reps. And so we'll add that to the leadership list. Any other agenda items to add? Okay, so then could I have a motion that the agenda for this meeting, as found on pages number 2 to 3 of the 2024 annual report, be approved with the change that was made? Moved by Phil Irish, second I saw by John Williams. All in favor? Thank you. Yeah, I'm just looking online here to see if we, okay. Just Willa and Des, is Des at the meeting, Dorothy, or just you? Okay, sorry, just you, okay. And Willa, if you could just, she gave me a thumbs up, that's great. Any opposed? Any abstain? Carried. All right, so you just, yes. I don't see them here, no. Yeah, no, he's not, they're not on here right now. All right, that's all right. So in our church, full members can have voting rights at meetings like this, and we can also make motions that adherents, so not full members, can vote. Just hold on. You guys are so good. You're ahead of me. So we're going to make a motion that members grant voting rights for this annual meeting to those who are adherents of Hope Springs United Church on financial and administrative matters. That's the motion. Who moves that? Robert Kosleg. Second, Phil Irish. All in favor? I'm just looking online. Hold on. Okay. Any opposed? Abstaining? All right, carried. Thank you. Okay, and then we have our minutes from our April 21st, 2024 annual congregational meeting, which is on page 5. So I'm going to look for a motion that the minutes of the April 21st, 2024 congregational meeting, as found on pages 4 to 6 of the 2024 annual report, be approved. Motion, Kurt Hammond. Second, Laura Alessio. Any further conversation or additions? All right. All in favor? Okay. Trying to do technology at the same time. Thank you. Gotcha. Any opposed? Abstaining? Carried. Thank you. All right, then we get to move into the mission reports, and there were many. And this is the part where we get to celebrate all the amazing things that happened in this church over the last year. And there are so many things. And we also acknowledge and grieve for the deaths that and the celebration of life that we had for Ethan Arnew, Shirley Moore, and Jean Taylor Richardson through this past year. At this point, normally what we would do is just ask if there are any questions, comments, or anything anyone wants to say about any of the mission reports that were included. And I'll just remind you that there was an error in not putting in the regional report that was prepared and submitted. So it will go out separately in an email this week, and everyone can have that report. So yeah, I just open up the floor to any comments, any thoughts, any questions that people have about any of the reports that were in there. Okay. So then, mission reports. We will have a motion to accept these reports. So the motion is that the mission reports found on pages 7 to 25 be accepted. Kurt Hammond moves that, seconded by Mel Anderson. All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Abstaining? All right, carried. Thank you. Now we get to move to the stewardship reports. So we had several in there. Any questions? We'll get to the financials after this one, but any questions on the stewardship reports that were submitted? Yes.
I'd like to go back if we're good. I'm sorry.
Can I just get you to go on the mic so everybody can hear? Sorry.
Amy, do we want to pass around the wires for people?
Sure, we could do that. Yeah. Use the wireless or while you're up here.
No.
Here, right here.
Okay. Just trying to find it. On motion by
That's
the minutes here. So I just want to clarify that Dorothy Smith is a member of the MMP committee as well.
oh, that was last year.
We'll do that later.
Thank you. That was the minutes for last year's meeting. But catch up, John, would you? No, nothing. Okay, any other questions about the stewardship committee, stewardship reports that were submitted? Just going to double check the chat here. Okay, we're good. All right, so then we'll have a motion that the stewardship reports as found on pages 25 to 20, 25 to 20. Hold on. 25 to 28, because the solar project is part of that. Sorry, motion that the stewardship reports as found on pages 25 through 28 be accepted. Phil Irish moves that, seconded by Dorothy Hemingway. All in favor?
Was that Dorothy? Was the second?
That was Dorothy Hemingway was the second, yeah. Sorry, I just need to go into the chat. Okay, all in favor, yes. Any opposed? Oh, sorry. You have a question, sorry.
I think the stewardship report actually starts on page 24.
24? Oh, sorry. Okay, so just to amend that motion, it starts on page 24, halfway through page 24 to page 28. So with that change, we had a motion by Phil, seconded by Dorothy Hemingway. All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Any abstaining? I don't think so. Carried. Awesome. So then we're going to get into the financial statements. And I'm going to ask if Jim wants to come up and sit beside me for a second in case there are questions. We have several things. There's the financial statement balance sheet on page 29. There's a summary of donors per donation range, page 30. Donations from 2024, page 30. Profit and loss budget, page 31. And our budget for this year, page 31. We're going to do in a minute. We're going to accept the financial statements and we'll accept the budget. But first, just wanted to ask, is there anything you want to say about the budget? Yeah.
I'll just do some very quick highlights that This year, as you can see from the bottom line, was pretty good. We had a profit of 53,000, or I shouldn't say, we had an excess of $53,023, and we budgeted for about negative that, which is quite a shift. And the main reason is we didn't have a minister for the year, so paying ministers each Sunday is much less than one here, and also we didn't have a children's director for half the year as well. That essentially explains the difference. So which means that the budget for 2025 is back to the same as it was for 2024, which means negative. So I'm just going to put a pitch in here. If we had, I think we figured out if we had everyone give just a little bit more all the time, we'd get closer to balancing it.
What's a little bit more?
Question was, what's a little bit more?
We have, this year I put in the number of donors and approximately what people gave. I realize people can't give this, but we had approximately 100 donors and we're minus 45,000. So if you divide simple division, you get $450 each. Now, some people may not be able to give that much. Some may be able to give more, but that would be the number you're looking for. I think that's $8 a week.
I feel like it's a commercial on TV that I've seen before. For just a cup of coffee a day. That said, it's also important to state that so we had a deficit budget last year, and we talked about this at the time, that we agreed to that deficit budget and also understood that there would probably be a second year deficit budget. So good luck, bad luck, who's to say? We didn't have a minister last year, so we saved money. So I don't know, but this year we're not going to save money. And so there's lots of ways that we can tackle that problem, but I think it's important to say that in this coming year, we're going to have to start having some serious conversations. And so, and we've talked about this for a couple of years now, to say, like, this isn't an ongoing thing. You can't have deficit budgets of negative $50,000, $60,000 a year, and we know that. But the reality is going to come where we need to have a conversation that says, what does this mean? And as part of our vision report, this was an important conversation that the stewards and, well, the official board talked about, and that the stewards, I know this past year, have been working on trying to understand what our assets are, trying to understand what our building is, what the cost of the building, what the cost of different renovations would be, and to have that fulsome picture so that we can have conversations about the building or location of this church or what this all means to our finances. And so that's just one part of the conversation, but it is important to know we're not in a status quo situation. We're in a live, exciting church to be in, and we still have some financial problems. So, and they're not going to just go away. Kurt?
Thanks, and I just want to thank everyone who's stewarding the resources. And you heard me say this many, many years ago, pre-COVID. I just want to remind us that this deficit is our responsibility, not something that a staff person is. We're not putting that on our new minister. So I just want to, and I know we're all here, but I think it's important the minutes reflect that as well. This is a collective responsibility for us as congregants. Staff are going to walk alongside us, but the responsibility of that delta, that gap, lies with us, not our staff. So I just want to reinforce and remind us of that as we step into these bigger conversations. So thank you.
Any other questions or comments about the financial documents that were shared, or any other comments about our finances in general before we get to motions? And just a huge thank you to Jim for doing all the fancy footwork to take care of our books and take care of all of these financial statements. It's a ton of work. Just really grateful for your time and energy. So, all right, let's make motions. So we need a motion that the financial statement as found on, where's the financial statement? Is the financial statement on page 28?
The balance sheet is.
That's the balance sheet.
Which is part of the financial statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then the budget is on 30.
What's on 33? Oh, that's the trust. Okay.
Balance sheet is page 28, and the financial statements are on page 30 and 31.
Just for the wording of the motion, I have a couple different things. It says that we would be approving the financial statement. I think that's maybe not quite correct. And then there's the budget.
The budget is part of the financial statement.
Okay.
It's the final line on the financial statements on page 30 and 31.
So I'll just put financial statement and budget.
Okay, the financial statement and budget? Okay, great. So we need a motion that the financial statement and budget of the 2024 annual report be accepted. John Wilkie moved, Kurt Hammond second. Any additional conversation or comments? All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Abstaining? Carried. Thank you. All right. So this brings us to a very exciting part, the leadership of the church. So again, I'm going to give everybody a second here, but before we do, I just want to take a moment first. We have a few, oh, sorry, Jim?
What about the trustee report? Or is
Oh, thank you.
that have to be mentioned?
Yep. Sorry, the trustees report, page 33 and 34. Starting on 31. Thank you. You guys are great. Thank you. Trustees report, starting on page 31 and going through to 34. Any questions about the trustees report? All right, I'm going to ask for a motion that the trustees report from page 31 to 34 of the 2024 annual report be accepted. Christine Gross moves, second by John Wilkie. All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Abstaining? Carried. Thank you. You guys are great. Killing it today. Okay. Now we go to leadership. So before I start, I just want to, we have a couple of people leaving this year. Judy McMullen has been serving on the mission committee and as secretary of the board. And she is going to step away and take some well-deserved time away from the business of the church. Well, this part of the business of the church. She does lots of other stuff. And also Leslie Weaver has been on the mission committee, and she is stepping away as well. And I think the only other, and Brian Williams is stepping away from children and youth. We're not voting on anybody to join that. That's a separate committee, but just a note. So I just want to give a huge note of gratitude to Les and to Judy and to Brian for serving in this way and for the years that you have served. And as things happen, people come on and they go off. And I said this the other night, probably see you back again at some point. But even if we don't, thank you for your time and for serving. It's been really great to serve with Judy and with Les. And I didn't get to serve with Brian, but I know he did a great job with children and youth. Yeah, Shannon's back there. She agrees. Yeah. So huge thank you to all of you. And as we're on that, for all the people who are remaining on the mission committee, the stewards committee, the ministry and personnel committee, the trustees, the worship committee, children and youth and children's worship, pastoral care, jeepers, I almost missed that. Once you start naming things, it's a problem. We have so many people involved in so many things and so many committees, and it is really incredible. And there's so much energy for a relatively small church, and that is really exciting. And I think we heard that, what was that, alive is good, or alive is beautiful, yeah. And I do feel like we're alive. We have so many people, and then so many people serving in so many other kinds of ways, you know, the sound, the tech, the newsletters, the, you know, everything that happens around here. So just a huge thank you to all of you who are volunteering, giving your time. It is incredibly appreciated. And we need some new members. So I'm going to say it, and then I think maybe we'll take like just a 5-minute break, so that it's always good to just take a break, see if something's speaking to you. So I know you've heard me talk about this. So our mission committee, we do need 1 to 2 members. It kind of depends on how it shakes out. I mean, there can always be more. There's room for everybody. We do need a board chair, because I'm leaving after today. If I don't want to talk about it if we don't have one, but because we're going to get one. I'm sure we're going to get one. So we need a board chair, and we need a board secretary. So just if a person joined the mission committee, so we have spots there, and they wanted to be the secretary for the board, you could be both of those things if you wanted to be. Yeah. Judy, shh. You could be. Or they can be separate people. If you just want to be the secretary of the board, that's all you want to do, and you just want to go to official board meetings, that's the only meetings you want to go to, and take the minutes, and that's your whole job, you can also do that. So that's fine. And then we have regional reps. We have currently 2 regional reps, Christine Gross and Wendy Cartwright, who are doing a phenomenal job. And we can nominate them and re-elect them for this year. We have to do that every year, Chris advised me. It's really important to have really smart people around you who know what the answers are to all these things, because there's a lot of rules. Okay, so we're going to take a brief break till 5 after. And then we're going to come back and we're going to see if there's any nominations. Okay? And maybe there will be. Okay? What's that? Lock the door. Yeah, please lock the door. Quickly. Oh, Sue's here. Hi, Sue. Oh, and Randall's here too. We got a couple people joined just for the leadership. Yay. We're just taking a 5-minute break to see if the Spirit moves anybody to join our committee. Okay. So we'll just take 5 minutes. We'll be back in just in a few minutes. Okay. All right, folks, I think we're going to get